Hello and welcome to a little video chat about a Nintendo Switch game that has just come out called Splatoon 2. So,
Splatoon.
yeah, Adam, or Splatoon, as the cool kids say.
Yes.
What's it like there, mate?
It's really good. Like, it's
Good.
exactly... If you played Splatoon, then you...
I have not.
No, you haven't.
However,
yeah.
I know a lot of people that love it.
I love it. I think it's a fantastic game that transcends age, and it's just a kind of for everyone fun multiplayer game. And I just think that it's really good. It unfortunately, Chris.
Yeah.
Okay, strap yourselves in. Unfortunately, the idea behind this seems to me, Nintendo have gone, we had a really good idea for a great game. Everyone that played it really kind of dug it. Now we've got a console that everyone wants to own and does own if they were lucky enough to get one. Why don't we put this game out on a new platform, add some new stuff, and we can get loads of more people who love it. And I think that will happen. I think it will be loved by the much larger install base the Switch will have, if it hasn't already got. Yeah. Unfortunately, they've also taken the problems with them. They've taken the 2-map rotation for multiplayer. So basically every 2 hours the 2 maps rotate out for another 2. But for those 2 hours you can only play multiplayer on 2 maps, which in one situation led me to playing one map 7 times out of 8 matches, which is, even if the map's good, that's not ideal. There are options, Overwatch just rotates everything.
Yes.
Other games offer you a map vote system. This is just like, no, you're playing one of these 2 maps for the next 2 hours. You still can't change your loadout once you're in a lobby. You still can't exit a lobby once you're in a lobby. You have to be, basically at the end of a match it says, do you want to carry on or do you not? And if you carry on, you get put into another lobby. You can't exit out without sort of quitting the game. That sort of thing.
How many maps does the game start with, like when it's released?
If I recall, it's 8. I want to say
okay.
8. I haven't got my notes handy, but I think it's 8 maps. Some of those are reused maps from the first game. What they've done is they've taken... So there's a few new elements in the single player. There's new weapons and there's new special abilities, ultimate sort of thing. And they've taken all that, obviously. But there's also kind of zip lines or ink lines or squid lines, whatever you want to call them, in the hero mode, which is the single player campaign. And they're like, some of the older maps have got those on. There's also like a big spongy thing that you can ink up and it expands, and that adds more to the traversal nature. Yeah. Because it feels great. Like, it feels great to traverse these maps. It feels great to jump in and out of squid form and maybe jump a big gap. I feel like I do that more in Splatoon 2. Like, I feel like I'm more adventurous with the jumping in squid form. I don't know if that's the map design or just, I don't know, experience. Okay. But yeah, so they have added stuff to the old maps, and they're obviously new maps. Some of the modes are, again, it's difficult because it is a living experience in that, as I say, it changes every 2 hours. But currently, so the main mode is Turf War, where you have to ink more of the floor than your opponent in the 3-minute match. There are other maps, other modes in ranked and league mode, I think they call it, which have different actual game modes within them. So you need to be level 10 to access ranked, and you need to be, rank B-,
right,
to get to league mode, and it's all a little bit much. There's currencies kind of for everything. There's separate currencies for single player, there's separate currencies for Salmon Run, there's separate currencies for multiplayer. None of it's microtransactions, but it does feel like maybe they could have put it all together a bit better.
Yes.
The multiplayer is much as you remember it from Splatoon. Like I say, literally down to the really bad map rotation, which I cannot believe they've kept in, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what's the Salmon Run like?
Salmon Run is horde mode, essentially.
Yeah.
Where there's 4 of you. You can play it. If the matchmaking sort of fails or no one's joining you, you can play it on your own, or 2 or 3. But ideally 4-player, and it also does scale. Incidentally, when I pre-release, obviously, once I got into a single player Salmon Run, it actually changes the amount you need to complete each wave. So the idea is you've got these fish, these salmonoids coming at you off the shore, and then there's one of 8 different kinds of boss salmonid that you once you kill them, they drop 3 golden eggs. You take the eggs, pop them in the basket, and the win condition is get X amount of eggs and then survive the round timer. It makes for some frantic, just amazing gameplay moments. Like, 'cause, you know, when your teammates go down, you have to ink them to get them back up, and you know, it's excellent. And unfortunately, it's timed. Unfortunately, like, you can't just play it whenever you want to play it. You can if you're on LAN. That's the thing.
Okay.
If you you and 3 mates have all got, you know, a Switch and Splatoon, you can all sit around and play anything in the game whenever you want. But if you're playing online, or in a party via the app or whatever, you can only play Salmon Run when they say you can, and it's been a problem for me reviewing it. I mean, you know, there've been limited availability because it straight up isn't there. Like, you go to the from Inkopolis, the overworld hub, you go to the area where Salmon Run is, and it's just the shutters are down. It's closed. You can't play this, and that's been a problem in the pre-release situation. I have played lots of it since. I've joined the pre-arranged sessions. Obviously, everyone's doing that for review to be able to play it. Yeah. I don't know how open or shut this is going to be when it's out, but I get the feeling it's going to be. I mean, at the moment, like, there's 3 or 4 days where it's been down, and I'm hoping. I don't know. I just don't understand it, Chris.
Do you think?
I don't know why.
Well, it seems silly, really.
It is.
I mean,
it feels silly.
especially when it goes to full release. Surely you can't play this mode and then 4 days later you can play it again. You should be. That's just the way games are now. You should be able to play it all when you want, because if those modes are included in the game, then they should be able to play whenever you want. Especially when I know money shouldn't always come into it, but if you're playing for a full price game, it should have everything it says it has, and not when they want you to. You know, it's your choice, surely.
I feel like the reason behind it is possibly that they want to funnel the most amount of people into a certain mode at a given time to make sure the servers are nice and full and you're never waiting for a game. But that doesn't really explain why you can't then just go into, like, making getting your friends together and doing it. Like, it's shut. Like, when you do get in there, there's options to do. They call it freelance, funnily enough. They call it freelance, which is just like matchmaking. I think there's, like, join a friend, and there's like private match where you just make a room and invite your friends. Again, you have to use the app for that. It literally comes up with a screen that says use the app to invite your friends. But you can't do that when the mode, because you'd think, oh, well, maybe I can do the make a room thing when it's shut. No, when it's shut, it is off. Like, you cannot play it apart from LAN.
Right.
So I can't really comprehend the reasoning behind it, and I think I can't give it a free pass for such a stupid decision. No. I don't get it. I don't get why that, because that's the one kind of new mode. That's the big draw. Well, not the big draw to the game, but the big new attraction. And, like, to the point where when I first booted the game a couple of weeks ago, I booted it up and I played a couple of bits of single player just to get me eye in a bit, remind myself of how it all works. And I thought, right, let's go and do some Horde then, because can't wait for this. Shut. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. And, look, some people are going to be fine with that. I'm not. I'm not fine with that. I wouldn't be fine with it regardless of the game. As a games critic, I feel like I can't give it a free pass. That's just a daft decision. And combined with the sort of the map rotation stuff, it really feels like they haven't listened to it. There are some stuff they fixed from the first game that people complained about, but the big stuff like the map rotation, they haven't, and it just feels a bit. I don't know. I just don't understand why they wouldn't listen to the people who have been loving their game, but yet want to make it better. It's still a fantastic game, and if you've got a Switch, you're probably buying it anyway. There's a decent length single player campaign that it's actually almost too long. With a lovely map variants, loads of weapons, and sometimes some of the hub worlds feel like these wonderful obstacle courses that it's just a joy to traverse around in Splatoon 2. And to that end, I will thoroughly recommend it as a video game, but know that they haven't fixed some of the bigger issues with the first one. Still a great game,
definitely.
But could have been an incredible game.
Well, you can read Adam's review on godsgeek.com. Thanks for watching, and obviously leave comments in the bottom. So we love reading your comments. Thank you very much for joining me, Adam.
You're welcome.
And take care, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.